Happy New Year, everyone. Making another video here while I'm driving. So, overpopulation versus underpopulation, right? I don't believe we have an overpopulation issue at all. We're not even close. What I do believe is we have a mismanagement of resources. That's what I do believe is what's going on. Humans can live underground in skyscrapers. We can desalinate the ocean. We can use solar, nuclear, wind energy, electric vehicles, train stations, public transport, even vertical farms, and so on, right? Recycling. There's a bunch of things that we could do to have less of an impact on the waterways and the air we breathe, right? And all the pollution we cause. You could actually, if you take a look at the numbers by square mile, you could fit the whole planet just in a couple states and have the whole planet empty, basically. And we're at 8 billion people right now, just by the numbers. And that's talking like not even going in skyscrapers or underground. If you go underground and use skyscrapers, you can fit the whole the whole planet in Florida, for example. And that's crazy, but it's true, right? Obviously, then you run into other issues, which would be stress levels, human stress levels, right? Because once you put too many people in one place, then people start getting stressed out, and other things happen as well. People, get anxiety, depression, and other mental health issues, right? So the argument as to overpopulation and underpopulation would have to be looked at, I believe, from that point of view, which we're not even close to it, which would be, okay, are we getting to a point where we have so much population in such a small amount of space that human stress levels continue to rise to the point where humans are no longer productive, right? That, I believe, would be the argument as to pro or against one or the other, and we're not even close, right? The overpopulation argument by certain globalists is used, I believe, for control, right? If you looked at the Georgia Guidestones, which I was able to visit right before they got destroyed, and by the way, many globalists point to that as a point of reference. The first thing it has on the list is have world population be at 500 million. Okay, so that's messed up. If world population were to reach 500 million, to me that's just a plain flat out argument to achieve control over society. And as time progresses, as artificial intelligence improves and robotics and so on, I believe humans will lose control over time. And AI and robotics, automation, is and will continue to gain more control over society. And it's almost inevitable, because the thing about it is, the U.S. is competing, for example, against China for the AI race, and other countries as well, right? If you take this point of view that I'm gonna mention right now, if the U.S. doesn't match or exceed the AI race, then China is going to win the AI race, and eventually they might end up controlling the world, right? So it's almost like a default. It's almost like we have to move into that direction no matter what. Because if we don't do it, they're gonna do it, and then they're gonna control the world, right? And it doesn't even have to be China. It could be some other country, right? I'm just pointing an example. And the same thing with automation and capitalism. Automation is used to save on costs, right? And in a capitalist system, which is basically survival of the fittest in financial terms, the companies that can cut costs, save expenses, and maximize their profits would be the companies that beat their competitors, right? Because they could use that excess money to promote and to improve their technology and so on. So a capitalist system by default is an innovation system, right? That's the way I see it. So when you have a capitalist system, it is equal to, or in definition, the same thing as an innovation system. Okay? I don't know. I kind of steered in a different path on this subject, but it's interesting. It's interesting. The world is a very complicated and complex place, and there's a lot of things at play, right? And some things aren't black or white. There's a lot of gray areas, right? And I wish life was easier and simpler, but it's not. And I don't think it will get easier or less complex over time. I believe over time life will get even more complex than it is today. As technology improves, as more laws are created, because that's what happens as well. Over time, more laws keep being created and enacted, and what that does is it controls people more than what they already are, right? Anyways, these are just some random thoughts. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe, watch my other videos. Have a nice one. Enjoy your New Year's. Good day.